Alrighty, what is up, guys? Welcome to chainEDGE workshop number 2. This is On-Chain Wizard. I'm going to go through the kind of new site, some of the updates we've made, how I use it, and some of the features that we'll be rolling out going forward. If you're not familiar, chainEDGE is a smart money tool focused entirely on swaps in its current form, which we think is a optimal way to look at smart money flows, because you remove, liquidity positions, transfers, and kind of a lot of noise, especially around scams. And so, swap is a very high intent, informational value. I get this question sometimes, why should we use chainEDGE over other tools that are out there? And I would say, we are not built for general blockchain data. If you're looking for user data on a protocol, or you want to go, 1,000 miles deep into a specific token and all of its, a specific wallet and all of its, connected wallets and stuff like that. This really isn't the tool for that. Rather, it's a tool to help you find what smart money is actually buying right now. And so, I think that sets us apart from a lot of people, because you can see things like in the alpha stream that are giving you kind of near real-time data on smart money movements in the market that are actually swaps. How do I use it every day? If you saw my latest email, I typically like to start with no stables, because I don't really care about the stablecoin movements necessarily. Filtering out no stables. I usually look for 1 and 7 day strength in flows, as I, with the theory being that these will be kind of, people front running either some sort of upcoming narrative, some upcoming catalyst like Floki with a recent Binance listing, anything like that. And especially if it's, in a market, like obviously the market's bouncing back today, but especially in weak markets, when you see certain tokens start popping up in the inflow side of the thing, it kind of gives you a signal that something is going on there. So, I typically like to go through the 1 and 7 day net flows to see, what's going on. What does the risk appetite look like? Obviously, the risk appetite is still pretty high. We have 106 of our smart money addresses playing around with Pepe. Frax, stuff like that. You could, using the tool kind of comes down to what your style of trading is. Like if you like to trade bigger coins, you should look at those coins and then, dive in further and try to find, people that are good at trading those tokens, right? So if you go to Arbitrum, you can find certain traders that are better at larger caps versus not. So if I flick into Arbitrum, give me a second here. One of the cool things, I like to look for in these token charts, which we're still in process of updating, is when you see kind of a bottom form in the token and it's all smart money buys across the bottom. So a good example of that is on Thena on BSC. Um, and so, you can kind of use that as a signal on really any token other than, the super large caps. Say, maybe a bottom is forming in this token. These are obviously smart, profitable traders. They're expecting some sort of kind of trend change in the token. And if we pull up Thena here, we can see what that looks like. Yeah, so here you can see, and this is like a great example here in early to mid-April, you can see all these smart buys in the 30-ish cents range, just forming a bottom in the token. Not a lot of sells, and then all of a sudden, it takes off, and then there's sells. And that's like a consistent pattern I've seen and other users have seen that they look for is when smart money buys are forming the bottom in a token. Obviously, one of the coolest features is the alpha stream, which gives you, near live swap data from all of our smart money wallets. Right now, we have two major labels or cohorts, which are early apes, which are people that are consistently early to, contract creation for these tokens, and they make money on them. So you're not getting people that are early to scams or things that end up just going to zero. And then top DEX traders, which are people that have been very profitable over time. Now, the problem with that cohort and something that we're solving for is people that made a lot of money in 2021 or 2020, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be profitable in 2023 or going forward, right? Because the market change, the market's changed. There's less euphoria. It's a PvP market. And so you're looking for people that are still consistently profitable. And that's why we were in the process of rolling out that cohort. And I can give you an example of how we're doing that. So if we dig into one of our smart money wallets, this is Sisyphus. So this is one of the cool features that is in progress and should be out over the next couple of weeks, which is DEX P&L, right? Right now it only shows 30 days for our smart wallets, but over the next couple of weeks, we're going to roll this out for rolling 6-month data on any wallet. That's very powerful because then you know who is actually making money today, and you don't have stale data of top DEX traders that crushed it on Floki in 2021. You need people that are actually consistently profitable today, and that's what this feature is going to give us. So from here, we're going to build a couple of wallet cohorts, new early ape wallet labels, the highest P&L. Over the last 6 months, we'll have a leaderboard and a whole new cohort of traders under that label, as well as high hit rate with high transaction value. So you'll get people that are more tactical, almost catalyst traders that are catching, maybe smaller moves, but on bigger tokens and with a lot more capital. So it can give you a better sense of market direction. Alternatively, if you don't care about our labels and you just want to use this to audit any wallet you ever come across, it's a very quick way to get up to speed on, is this wallet worth following or not, just for swaps, right? This is just P&L, realized P&L on just swap data, right? And so you can see someone like Sisyphus, pretty good win rate. It's not amazing. They've obviously lost money over the last 30 days because they took a giant L on Lido. But other than that, they traded Arbitrum decently, and then, we're early to things like IC. If we do another example of a really, really profitable wallet that bought some of these launches, you can see, kind of how powerful the DEX P&L feature is. So we'll pull that wallet up here. So this is one of our early ape traders that has crushed it on, I think they were super early to Pepe. They crushed it on Shiba Vision. And there's some others in here. I just gotta wait for this to load. So as you can see here, just over the last 30 days, this wallet's made $250,000 in realized gains. It's pretty good. They've been consistently early to so many hits, and they probably transferred their Pepe out, so it's not even in here. But making 100 grand on SHIB Original, 7K on Pause Zone. You can tell that the ROIs are all very fantastic, but they shoot a lot of shots, but they still have a net pretty positive hit rate. So, it's worth, if you're looking for maximum gains, like this is a good wallet to follow. And while there's a small lag in just following their wallet, like in the alpha stream or their wallet page, like down here, right, 26 minutes, you could set up alerts on a wallet like this and get live swap only alerts for this wallet, which I think is pretty powerful. You can also, add it to my wallets, and you have, you can kind of have a list of wallets, which will have their labels in here. So then you can set up alerts based on, and you can customize the name of your alerts for people that are better at broader macro direction, or people that are good at shit coining, like the wallet we just saw, or anything in between. So it really just comes down to, what your style is and how you want to use it. We're going to launch a new Launch Pro, which will be just for brand new tokens, but we want to improve some of our wallet labels and cohorts before we do that. But that will be a feature coming out over the next couple of months. What else? We're also going to launch a narrative God dashboard within here over the next couple of weeks, which will basically summarize the summary page, but dice it into token categories, right? Because if you look at this page, you can't say, oh, it seems like the liquid staking narrative is picking up, or meme coins are picking up, or Arbitrum tokens are picking up. So, we're basically going to summarize all of these into token categories, DEXs, perp DEXs, VDEXs, options, L1s, L2s, you name it. And then it'll be in the same cross section that you have here, right? So then you can quickly see, it looks like all of the flows today are into stablecoins, into ETH, or into L1s and L2s, into meme coins, whatever. And so it kind of quickly gets you up to speed on, which way is the market going from a smart money perspective. We have a bunch of other features in the pipeline outside of an improved DEX P&L on any wallet for 6 months, and then a DEX trade leaderboard. I don't want to share all of them, but we have some centralized exchange, smart money dashboards getting put up. We're in process of integrating ZK Sync, so you can try to see if any of the projects on the chain are actually not scams, or you can just watch smart money get rugged alongside you. And we're also going to eventually roll out kind of this same structure, but for farming and new farms too. But I think overall it's still early days. We've spent a lot of time building this, but we're just getting started and we're collecting feedback every day. But I think over the next couple of months, you will see a wildly improved and um, a wildly improved product that I think is very different than anyone else because we focus just on swaps, primarily just on smart money and DEX P&L, but it is across all chains. So you get a real-time view of who's actually making money, and then you can integrate it into your process to actually try to make money in what is increasingly a competitive environment. I mean, you see it in all of the new launches today. It's the same group of people in every private sale, or it's the same group of people getting rugged. And so I think that's why a tool like this can be really helpful in trying to build out your edge in the market, or at least help you with timing certain things in the market. But yeah, I mean, that's the high level overview of what I wanted to discuss today. If anyone has questions, you can just throw them into the chat. If not, I can keep finding things to ramble about. Is there a leaderboard of wallet profitability? Not yet. So as I talked about, we're going to first finish the 6-month DEX P&L. Right now, we just show 30 days for our smart money wallets, but we obviously have it for everyone. We're just cleaning the data because we're getting pretty aggressive on contract types that we're trying to include into swaps so that our DEX trade coverage is as high as possible. Once we have the 6-month data, we will just build a leaderboard. So that'll take a couple weeks, maybe a month, but then we'll have a live leaderboard of DEX trade profitability. Now, the only problem with just flocking to whoever made the most money is you're going to catch people like the likely insiders on a token like Pepe, right? Where they're probably going to be a one-hit wonder. It's not going to be a renewable source of finding you ideas that help you make money, which is why we'll include things like hit rate or ROI, stuff like that. Because you're trying to find a sweet spot of like the one wallet I sent that trades a lot of tokens, or someone that trades at least a decent amount of token and just didn't hit it big on one token. But yes, we have the data. We'll roll out the ability to look it up on any wallet over the next couple of weeks, and then there will be a leaderboard that will slowly build after that. Yeah, 100%, because there's some people that let's go find one. Let's just find a random one. Yeah, because the hit rate and ROI are important because and again, it will only be 6-month data too, right? So you're looking for people that have adapted to the market because the market is very, very different than 2021. 2021, people started tweeting about Spell. You could buy Spell 30Xs. Everyone has a good time. People started tweeting about Wonderland, Time. You buy Time, it's super Ponzi's, and it's a 40X. It's doesn't really work like that now. And even on Pepe, there's not really that much liquidity. So all the numbers you see of this wallet made of $2 million is, I find it to be stupid. I did tweet about a wallet that actually made like 150K in actual realized gains. And that's why we focus on realized gains too, is because the liquidity, especially in some of these like crazier ones, like when a token has 150 million market cap and 2 million of liquidity, and then you start talking about how this wallet made $4 million, it's like, no, they didn't, because they can't sell that. So that's why we focus just on realized gains, along with hit rate and ROI. Because you're trying to, like, at least me personally, I'm trying to find a balance of people that are good at market direction, people that are good at like more mid caps, they can trade around, not a DopeX because DopeX goes down every day. Something like GMX, like people that are, it reminds me of another feature actually. First, let's look into this wallet, just like as a random case study of, is this wallet any good? Right. So they're historically very profitable, one of our high P&L traders. But if you look, kind of, you shrug your shoulders. Like they haven't made much. They had one good ROI trade. The hit rates, whatever, not that interesting. Um, but let's, for a moment, also look at a good way to find even, there's a lot of wallets in here, right? So it's like, which ones do I follow? And like, if you want to find people that are good at trading certain things, like an easy way is you search a token that you, like a good example is not GMX. Let's try Joe. Ooh, least degen with smaller capital. I'll answer it in a second, but I like the question. Don't let me forget it. Okay, so quickly, a good way of like trying to separate, between the smart wallets, which ones have like good entries on certain things. Like you can just go to the token, search buy, which is really cool, right? So you can just say, oh, they bought Joe. Okay. You could just filter buy price and you just be like, okay, this guy had this guy had really good entries before Joe ran up to like 70 cents basically. So this guy in particular had a ton of good entries, as did this guy, but on small capital, than nobody else really, right? So like this one guy who probably makes up all of these smart money movements, crushed. I mean, I don't know what his realized P&L is on Joe. You can actually, another quick way of looking is if you just type in their wallet. You can see their average entry in here is around 55 cents. So they bought all the way up to the top, which is not what you're looking for. Then if you go to sell, oh, they didn't sell any. Oh, wait, it might just be lagging. Okay. Yeah, and so their sells, if you filter for sells, again, a quick way to audit their trades. Same trader sold for 57 cents, right? Not that good. So while we filtered, we found him for good entries. His average exit, 57. So whatever. Okay, if you're comfortable. I mean, it also, I guess your question, it comes down to what you're looking for in terms of return, right? Like if you're trying to just double your capital, you can focus, like I would just focus on like bigger tokens where you're not taking as much risk, like a GMX, and then hopefully, or like a Joe, right? Like a Joe is a long time established project. You know, if you kind of fish in that camp of like the low to mid cap tokens, follow smart money movements, and then I would supplement it with like deep dives on either catalyst work or watching for like any fundamental change in the project, because crypto really likes change, whether it's new tokenomic design, new product that's getting a lot of users, whatever, like those things get rewarded very well in crypto versus things that are stagnant do not. If you're looking to run it up, if you have like 5K and you want to run it up into the six figures, you're going to have to play the shitcoin game. The goal is with a tool like this is that you have higher hit rate than if you just did it yourself. Like coming from someone that did it, like I did it myself back in the BSC season in early 2021. And I just treated it like an actual casino, and I just threw like $4 or $5 grand in every new launch for like 10 projects in like a week because the market was so hot. And one of them was just like a 30 bagger overnight. And then one was like a 20 bagger. So the market is not like that anymore, but there are still tokens that just go absolutely crazy from launch. And so you really have to be fishing in like the 500K market cap and under to get like some of those crazy outcomes. I mean, you've seen it on bigger ones like on Camelot, which I wrote about, but those are not as easy to find. I don't know if that's helpful. If you have follow-up questions, I can try to answer it too. But the thing I'd focus on is the market direction is way more important now than it was in 2021. So, you should be watching like smart money stablecoin holdings on Nansen. You should be watching like stable and ETH inflows and outflows on chainEDGE. You can watch like GMX. Like there's a top traders dashboard somewhere. Evaluate shitcoins and what you'd actually try to avoid. It's a lot to go into right here, but basically, you first have to get good. I tweeted a really good thread on this. It's probably my last tweet or second to last tweet. It's about being early. You want to see some amount of smart money, hopefully, but it doesn't have to. And then it's more about it not being a scam. Can you give us finding shitcoins on chainEDGE? Oh, for sure. Because if you're in the space, you can spot a shitcoin pretty quickly. So first, I would just watch whatever this wallet does, because everything they touch is a shitcoin. This is the one we talked about, a F2. So I guess a caveat is when we have the new launch dashboard in here, it'll make it much easier because then you'll be basically getting this alpha stream. Will speed up the latency of the data so that it is basically, within 60 seconds or so. So you're not, late at all. And it will be for contract, or token ages that are less than however, what your time period you're looking for. New launch dashboard. It's probably going to be like 6 weeks, probably. And it's going to be it'll be in a different tier, similar to, like Nansen has kind of the same thing. It's not going to be as expensive because we don't have 180 employees. But it will be like a more premium tier. But I mean, if you catch one of these, it's obviously worth it. What's your favorite tool or metric? You guys are just peppering me with questions. I really like seeing, the DEX P&L feature to me is the coolest thing in here, especially on a 6-month basis, because then anytime someone says, check out this smart trader that did X, Y, or Z, it's like you can just pop it in there and just be like, oh, yeah, they are smart, or oh, they're full of shit. Because there are wallets that we have, frankly, tagged as smart because they have historically been profitable, and then like just on this 30-day data, they are not. I don't do much shit coining lately, so I don't find myself really looking at the alpha stream. But it does give you like a flavor of just what's going on. Like when Pepe was out, there was just tons of Pepes going on. My favorite way to use it is, the problem is you guys don't have access yet, but because I have the P&L data, like if you guys saw my email, right? Like there was, you're basically looking for a barbell. So you follow someone like Green Fund. Oh, come on. These guys are really good at market direction, especially when they move with size. So they've stabled up. I think they might have even transferred out of this wallet. So I try to find wallets that are really good at market direction, and I add them to my wallets. And then I watch them to see which way they think ETH is going, because that is way more important now than when I first got started in crypto. Because like if ETH's going to go down 10%, every alt other than Radiant is going to go down, 10, 20. I mean, some on Arbitrum just over the last 2 or 3 weeks went down 50, 80%, right? That's step one. Step two is you find people that are good at trading mid caps into catalysts, like things like Joe, when it got hot, or buying uh, Arbitrum things back when Arbitrum was cool. And then you want people like the one wallet I shared that are just really, really good at shit coining. The problem with the one wallet I sent is they're too active to almost watch. So it's hard to really keep track of everything they're doing, which is why we build a site like this that aggregates it all in one place. And that brings me to another, see, like I'm talking about all features that don't even exist yet. But another thing I want to build out is, so this obviously has all the wallets in it, right? But if you follow the logic, what I was just talking about, you want to be able to filter by wallet types. And so we're going to add that both here and in the alpha stream with just a little drop down saying, okay, give me the smart money net swaps, but just for X type of trader. And then you can see what they're doing. Or in the alpha streams, like tell me just what the degens are doing. So then you can, effectively try to get like a do launch pro within the alpha stream. But yeah, I mean, the way I try to use it, or my favorite way to use it, is like find people that are good at market direction, find people that are good at finding more like outperformance plays kind of in the middle range. So like if you just look like through this and look for examples, like Frax could be a good one. Right, that's like a mid capper, decent amount of wallets, a lot of inflows, especially over the last week. And because this is swaps, you can actually check on if people are aping into farms. Like on this new launch today, you can tell a couple people, either aped the token, or you can then go follow along and see. So that's like another way to supplement your shit coining is, let's say you find a brand new project, GND, right? You do some research, and like, I don't know, I'm on the fence. It seems like a real project. You can just literally search the token in here and see if people are buying it or not. And obviously, if the token doesn't show up, then smart money's not touching it. Will there be additional wallet labels in the future? So I would say once we launch top P&L over the last 6 months, that will get you, that'll skew more towards the mid cap and low, like that'll skew towards people that are either putting a lot of capital into like Arbitrum going from 130 to 150, but also people that buy like Grail at 1,000 and it goes to 3,000, right? Because those tokens have so much more liquidity that they're just going to make more dollar gains. But realistically, the best way to do it is the DEX trade leaderboard will help out a lot too. So yes is the short answer. Because 9 times out of 10, all the shit coins are too small. Like they're not going to be home runs. Like that one, like we saw that one wallet had how many trades? Like 50. And that's not showing all the ones that were rugs and they couldn't even sell out of. So, like, it's going to, like, that's why you have to be really careful with position sizing on things like shit coins because so many of them are going to go to zero. What you're trying to, what you're hoping is because there's so many smart people in here, you're trying to tap into some like interconnected network of people that know this token's not going to be a scam. It's actually going to be really good and should hopefully go up. But you can backfill people that are good at mid caps by people that have done well on certain things. So like you can go token by token and also just look for good entries and exits, like on things like Radiant, or even people that traded Rocket Pool well, right? You can just click it and filter. So, I mean, we're trying to solve for that with the labels, right? Which are, because the early apes are just consistently early. They can make money on other stuff, but like they're consistently early to these tokens in either swapping, or, we've seen that they will farm it too, or they'll stake it, but like the swap always, gives us a signal that they're there early, and we're going to build that up too, with the DEX trade leaderboard kind of stuff. Any more questions from the two of you that are asking questions? Or are there features you want to see or thought would be in here that aren't in here yet and you think would be really cool? And they don't have to be anything you've ever seen before, just like anything creative that you think would be cool. Nothing? I mean, over time, my technical co-founder will be able to conjure up some more like AI and machine learning models on all this data to kind of aggregate it and say, when all of these wallets touch a token, it's either good or bad. I'm out of ideas, but you covered a lot. Okay. And one other point is these are just like people that I have audited and they are smart, like these sharp traders and the wizards. I'm going to improve their labels over time, but for now, it's just like I know they're smart, but they don't fit the two cohorts that we have yet. So I have to think about how to segment them further. But rest assured, they're still definitely very good. Yep, that's a good call. It's recorded, so it's not that big of a deal that people aren't on the live stream, but I get your point about announcing it in the Discord next time. I'm trying to think of anything else. We didn't talk about alerts much, but you can set up alerts on any of your wallets. What else? I think the feature's bugged, but you can also, we used to have it and we'll bring it back. You can click, so you can have 10 wallets in your watch list. So if you build your kind of barbell of shitcoiners, mid-cappers, market direction, you can run wallet data and it'll work like a, like Zapper used to have bundles. I think they got rid of them, but it'll basically be a bundle of just those wallets and it'll give you just a stream of their trades, which I think is awesome because even in the Zapper bundles, you can get drowned in activity because there's between the transfers or all the spoof like shit coins that people send people, it can be like kind of overwhelming. And so when you run what features in the pipeline? So we're going to build a lot of stuff in the premium tier, which will start out at like $300 or $400 a month, which is significantly cheaper than what I think is the next comparable, which is basically Nansen's, whatever the second tier is called. What's all going to be included in there? So we'll start with the new launch dashboard, but I don't want to really release just that within that tier. So we're actually going to build a new farm dashboard with a whole new cohort of people that make a lot of money farming across all chains, which no one really has. And then, it'll be the same. It'll be just like the Alpha Stream, except that it'll have the name of the farm and the APY and how many holders are in it and stuff like that. What else we're going to put in the premium? We're building a proprietary Twitter algorithm on new follows, which I think will also be really cool and help you find new projects. And it kind of goes together well with our product because you're actually trying to bring some off-chain data with the on-chain data to kind of keep you up to speed on everything that's going on. What else? We're eventually going to have centralized exchange flows as well. So, but that won't be in the premium. We're basically, so you have all these traders, right? But a lot of times there's so much more liquidity on the centralized exchanges. So another way you can view buys and sells is inflows and outflows from the exchanges, right? So let's say a token gets listed on Binance, right? It pumps 80%. An indicator, which we've kind of tested over time in terms of data, is like when everyone jumps to send their money to the centralized exchange, it's a sell signal, and so you should get out of Dodge. And the same thing can happen in terms of a buy signal. So that will get rolled out as well. I'm trying to think of anything else. Give me 1 second because I feel like I'm missing one. I'll also probably include research reports within that premium tier, at least weekly, of just like, here's everything that we're seeing, like in terms of new launches and stuff. Let's see here. There's one product I'm definitely missing. I talked about the narrative god. Oh, fresh wallets. So, like one of the problems is all these wallets, like some of them, if you put them into the bank, have thousands of followers. So you know that if someone's really going to do something interesting, they might just not let everyone know that they're doing it. And so we'll build the same swap data and aggregate it, but just for brand new wallets, which can be a pretty good indicator. That will be in the premium feature, but again, it will be much cheaper than what most people charge. We're doing some stuff with the Binance top traders as well, to bring into here and like kind of aggregating it the way our summary page does. So if you ever looked at their top trader page, there's tons of traders in there and it's kind of unreadable. And the thought is we do the same exact thing as our summary page, but just for the Binance top traders. And those people, you know, they're like the top realized P&L of the best Binance traders, like 25 million, which is going to be a lot higher than most of the DEX P&L guys, other than like some MEV bots. So that will also be pretty cool. And that's also not on chain. So we're kind of like the vision over the next like year, 2 years is like, this isn't just an on chain data product. Like this is just like the alpha tool. Like it is a smart money app for across everything, right? Because there's only so much you can get from the on-chain data. And obviously we have very good and custom on-chain data, but we want to bring as much as we can from other data sources to try to give people, you know, the biggest edge they can in what is just a PvP market. What else? Oh, I mean, our alerts are swap only too, which I think is pretty cool. Can't wait to see where it goes. 100%. It is going to be, I mean, if you, Sandstorm, I don't know if you've been around since, I don't know how long you've been following the product, but like it's already crazy how far it's come. So, you know, we ship a lot of changes pretty quick. So it's, I think it in just a, yes, it starts. So you saw the beta product, the public beta, which was, you know, it was a little rough. I think we've come a long way since then, and we cleaned the data to be just swaps. So, and you know, the first site was obviously slow and ugly, and our labels weren't as good, and we fixed most of those things already. Yeah. You know, and we're doing like the benefit of having, you know, basically me and a bunch of devs is we can pivot and change things very quickly. Like anytime we get product feedback, we incorporate it. Like sometimes it takes just a couple of days, we'll turn it around. So as we roll out all these new products, like there will be issues with it because we're so small, but they will be out there and you know, hope it will help you faster than us taking 12 months and making sure it's perfect versus us shipping it at 80% and then just iterating it for the last 20%, which is what we've done with most things so far. So hopefully you like it, Sandstorm. And if there's any features or other things that you think we could improve on, you should just tell me now too, since I got your ear. Oh, yeah, well, you appreciate the attentiveness and how fast. That is because this is our baby. Me, and if you see my co-founder, expert Eureka in the chat. You know, we are the, you know, he is the co-founder. I am the founder. We both own all of the equity of chainEDGE. And so, you know, there is no investors to appease to. It's our baby, and we're the only two people that own it. And so you kind of have a pretty strong ownership mentality around the whole thing. So anytime there's an issue, rest assured, we both panic and fix it as soon as possible. Anything else to cover? Let's see. If people haven't seen it, we have like the, I think the token search is actually pretty cool because it like if you just start typing Radiant in here, it auto populates for you. Whatever. What else? Oh, and there's one update that's coming out. So we've seen a couple of these. There's been scammers. Let's try to find one that's a real project. So we've been seeing on Arbitrum at least a lot more spoof swaps that we're in process of fixing. So just so you guys are aware, I can even teach you how to look for one. So we'll look. So this isn't really chainEDGE specific, but it's good for you to tell if God damn it. It's a good way to like make sure, like if you see a wallet that is like pretty well known or very smart buying something and you kind of like are second guessing it, there is a very easy way to investigate if it is a spoofed swap or not. So let me pull up an example. Okay, so let's just pick a random one. Oh, let's make sure it's big enough. Okay, so this guy bought Radiant, right? So if I go into the contract details, I'll see it originated from this wallet, right? Ending in 1D6. We know they bought Radiant, right? So in the spoof swaps, you'll actually see from the originator of the swap. It will not match to who's receiving the tokens in here, right? So we know that they're swapping because we enriched the data, you know, we indexed it and make it easier to read, right? We know this is the wallet that we're looking at, right? Oxy 1D6, right? But he's the originator and he's receiving the tokens, right? So it's not a spoof. But I mean, we've seen it in like a couple of these scams, and I'm sure people have seen it and lost money. So if you're in something that's more degen, we're in process of cleaning it, but just appreciate that, Sandstorm. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to do more YouTube content just because